Hello, welcome to Dirt Road Believer. I'm Tina, and this week is my birthday week, and I want to celebrate with you by doing something a little bit different than I've been doing. I'm going to post Monday through Friday. Each day, I'm going to post a Divinity Theory. I don't get into conspiracy theories, but I love connecting scripture and searching and trying to solve the mysteries of God. So I should go over with you my qualifications. First of all, I do not have a degree in theology. However, I have logged countless hours of watching Law and Order, NCIS, Monk, and Psych. So although I may not be able to tell you what I had for breakfast or what color shirt I wore yesterday, I can solve mysteries. And my disclaimer, if I get to heaven and I'm wrong, well, I'll be in great company, because no one will ever solve all the spiritual mysteries that are out there. I think God totally delights in us digging and searching. He probably gets a huge chuckle out of some of the things that we come up with. And remember, in 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter, it says, love does not have to be right. So I may not be right, but I'm going to have fun along the way. And I hope that you will celebrate my birthday with me and leave some comments on these divinity theories. Even if you don't agree, I don't care. That's fine with me. But I would love to hear from you. And I will get to how old I am turning this week at some point. But without any further wait, Divinity Theories. All right, we're starting with Divinity Theory 1 today. We're starting off with a biggie. This is all about the Ark of the Covenant. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, they looked for it. Nobody knows where it is. So we're going to kind of follow the Ark through Scripture. What is the Ark? Where is it today? I think I know. We're going to see. See if you agree. So the Ark of the Covenant is a very ornate, beautiful chest that God himself designed. You can read about the instructions Moses was to build it by in Exodus 25. And it was the very presence of God in the Old Testament. So wherever this chest went, that was where God's presence was. And inside the chest, it contained the 2 stone tablets that have the 10 commandments on them, written by the finger of God on top of the mountain. It also had, remember Moses' brother Aaron, his staff that budded and had almonds on it. And it also, Scripture also mentions that it contains a golden pot of the manna that the Israelites were fed in the desert. So this ark goes with Moses and Aaron all the way through the desert. When Moses dies, Joshua begins to lead the Israelites. And really the first time that Joshua gained the Israelites' trust as a leader was when the ark had to cross the Jordan River. And the same miracle that God did with the Red Sea, it parted, happened with the Jordan River. The Jordan River parts and they cross, and that is what establishes Joshua as their leader. Now during Joshua's time, the priest was Aaron's grandson. His name was Phinehas, and he was inquiring of the ark for answers from God. So not everyone could approach the ark. In fact, it was carried by poles so that no one, when it was being transported, no one had to touch it. And the only people that were charged with handling the ark were the Levites. That was the priestly tribe among the Israelites. It was kept in what's called the most holy of holies. Even though it was inside a tent, these tents were the temple of God, and there was a sanctuary within a sanctuary, so to speak, where the ark was kept, and only the priests could go in there. And I've also heard that the priest would have to tie a rope to his ankles so that if he died while he was in there in the presence of God, they could pull him out. It's kind of scary, but it was a serious thing. You didn't just, I think I'll go visit God today. There were definite rules. You couldn't just be around the ark, or, hey, I want to take a peek in the ark. People died that way. When Eli is the priest, remember, Eli was the one who raised the prophet Samuel. when Eli was the priest, he had 2 sons, and they had gone totally wicked, and they were supposed to be guarding the ark. Well, they didn't do a very good job because they allowed the Philistines to get close enough, and not only did they let them take it, but they kind of accompanied them into the battlefield with it. So that was really bad. And the day that happened, Eli, 2 of his sons, both of his sons and his daughter-in-law all died that day. And his daughter-in-law happened to be giving birth to his grandson, and before she died, she named him Ichabod, which means the glory has departed, because that was the day that the ark left the Israelites. Well, the Philistines got it, and then they didn't know what to do with it because all this crazy stuff started happening. First, they took it to their temple, and they put it in the temple with their god, their idol Dagon. And by the next morning, Dagon was flat on his face in worship before the ark. So they set him back up, and then the next day they go in. Not only is he face forward, but all of his limbs have broken off of the idol. Then they started to get, Philistines started to get tumors. Some translations even say hemorrhoids. They had this giant rat problem, so they were trying to move it around and get rid of it as fast as they could. Finally, they did get rid of it, and it went back to the Israelites. That's also an interesting story. But during Saul's reign, first king of Israel, during Saul's reign, he summoned the ark. And then fast forward to David's reign as king, and he wanted it moved back to Jerusalem. He even wanted to build a for real temple because it had always been in tents. And God gave him the design for that temple, but he told him, David, you won't build it, but your son will. And we know that Solomon did eventually build the temple in Jerusalem. So the last time that the ark was seen was in 586 BC, when the Babylonian Empire captured the Israelites. They took it away. No one has seen it since. Most likely they hid it out somewhere. And I am going to just go out on a limb and say they hid it in a cave. Here's why. Because when we look at the crucifixion of Jesus, this is Matthew 27:51, it said, at that moment, this is the moment that he died, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth shook and the rocks split. The tombs broke open, and the bodies of many holy people who had died were raised to life. They came out of the tombs, and after Jesus' resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many people. So the earth was trembling, rocks were quaking, and then and that curtain that separated the most holy of holies, it says the curtain was torn. I believe that's when the ark went to where it is now, and we're going to read about that in Revelation 11:19. It says, then, and remember this is a prophecy of the return of Jesus, it says, then God's temple in heaven was opened, and within his temple was seen the ark of the covenant. And there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and a great hailstorm. So my divinity theory is that when Jesus was crucified, the presence went into heaven. And that is where the ark is today. Agree? Disagree? Let me know. Comment. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this today. And be sure and catch this Saturday. I'm going to be doing my first message. So be sure and catch that. It's entitled Dirt Road Believer. Please subscribe, share, comment. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.